have anything by you?
I have it already. I have the gem stone and the bottle of mysterious liquid.
Yeah.
From some form of opium, I guess. That's a spontaneous guess.
Well, one can also.
I rolled.
Yeah. And it's milky white.
That's right.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the dreamy stuff. But as soon as I'm done, I'm setting up following the.
Excellent. That's not a problem. Doesn't need a roll at this time. So that'll keep you busy.
Yeah.
This kept you busy for a while.
Yeah.
So we're moving you into later in the day. Let's find out. I want to go to your interactions, but let's to see what Lothar is going to do with a sort of a open day with, as it happens, no encounters rolled. So therefore, you're. Or did I roll for you? Before I say that quite so confidently. Yeah, sadly. You guys are all fine.
Yay!
Playing it safe.
Yeah, you see the countryside.
So yeah, you've got it. The one thing is that the fighting men come and pay a visit, and they're reasonably polite.
Yeah.
The Ivinian guy gets introduced. We might as well fold him in as Vorogo, the same guy who sparred with Lothar, so you recognize him.
Yeah.
Arthur, sorry. And so you'll at least recognize him.
Yeah.
And he gets introduced and glared at by his fighting guy's companions, and he's very polite. And so she snaps her fingers, and somebody who works there, appears, with buns or something like that, and she's kind of concerned. She's like, we gave up a lot to that priest last night, and the fighting man reassures her and says the constable knows. So the support for them from the constable is sort of established. Mm-hmm. So that's the interactions you're observing. Are you still just staying out of the way?
I am.
Okay. Now, here you are. You and Geralt are he looks at you after you tell him that you haven't seen anything. And he says, I can't get anything meaningful out of these people. These bumpkins are terrified over something. Except that the monster that they have sort of described is exactly what the Ivinians were talking about. And Geralt he's saying, I'm a little concerned. Do you think that thing is real? I mean, those pirates, which no one has used that word yet regarding these people, but Geralt does. He says and it's not like those terrible, terrible pirates who show up and we're all afraid of. It's like, the pirates. As you do.
That's reflective.
And he says, so the pirates, and then there was, I don't know if the people shouting in the crowd are just stupid or not. They drew a thing.
Yeah, and the drawing on the walls.
Yeah, but that was just the demon turtle.
Yeah, but still a sea monster of some kind. So it holds some sort of evidence. There could be something in the waters. Maybe
says, we have monsters enough to deal with.
I agree.
Actually, you have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, but I feel like they're monsters enough.
Yeah, but he said, yeah. So, but if this thing is out there, he's pointing in the direction. He says, then we may be facing it. And he looks around and says, well, they've got some weapons in Merin. He's got a sword and a spear, a lance, really. Not like a jousting lance, but a functional lance. You're good with sword and with...
I'm going to staff, longbow, long shield, falcon, and hatchet.
Right. Okay, so at the moment you've got your falchion, you've got your shield, and your bow.
Okay.
Okay. So, and when I say got, I don't mean you're wobbling along carrying them. I mean they're accessible to you
Yeah.
with your horse. And so, therefore, which is really convenient. You're like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You can put things on your horse.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah, I don't need to worry as much about what weapon I'm leaving behind. I can have more weapons with me to have
That's right.
more variety.
And he says, so I need you to keep that bow at the ready. All right. What's the name of the little... it's here. There's Marine, and then there's a completely unreadable little thing, isn't there? Oh, well. There's a scribble. Resolution. Okay. Yeah, it's completely unreadable. The next little spot. But he says that's where that's where Rodri is, and we need to examine that. So we've got a little ways to go.
Yeah.
All right. So you'll continue to ride on.
Yes.
And you'll see some evidence of sort of more. I mean, people clearly abandoned their area and whatever they were doing. And he'll point out, to you, this is bad. We need people managing this river, this river mouth. This is a fishing place. And we can't afford to have people not working here at this time.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do something about this. Looks back over his shoulder at town and says, just what we need. More hysterical people, swarming the streets. Okay, so that's your situation, unless there's something you want to do.
No, I think that's good.
But they're at the place where shit went down, I guess. So
Coming up soon.
Yeah.
They ran into the people just outside of Waseda, so they still have.
Okay, so they're
travel.
in the.
Not yet.
No.
They're coming in the course of the next watch.
Yeah.
They'll get there.
Yeah.
So we're moving along through the day pretty quickly, and that's all right.
Yeah,
we might just
yeah.
move through the full day
Yeah.
and continue into the next.
I'm just wondering about the train. Where is he? I've forgotten.
Oh, he went off here.
Yep.
He went off this way.
He's
Yeah.
in the
He
morning.
left on the donkey and was continuing the route that he intended
Right.
to go.
Yes. As you told us a
Yeah.
couple of minutes ago.
That's fine. So that's that. And as you know, Dafid has gone off to Henway to do something economic there.
Yeah, was that the liege lord of the...
Yeah, they are
That's
sworn to Golotha.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
sworn to the named king of Rethen.
Mhm.
The Earl of Tormau, who's up here,
Right.
that's what Waseda is sworn to.
Yeah, okay.
So, so in a way, it's kind of not really a rebel, but not really on your side.
It's an enclave, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I remember.
And the king is actually situated in Golotha.
Oh, yeah.
He has his castle there.
Right.
Power
Right.
base there.
And he has lots of trouble with the armies in Candé, and some of his most powerful people are obsessed with the Kuboran tribes to the north. So, unfortunately, that's no use to him whatsoever, but they're hard to tell what to do in regard to that. So he's got military shit going on
Yeah,
at a much bigger scale than we deal with.
he has what to do.
Yeah.
He has what to do.
Not to mention at least 3 factions of Agrik,
Mm-hmm.
which are prone to schisms, I might add.
At least he's not bored.
Yeah. They and just to review, back in just, oops, yeah. Yeah, I didn't have one for Golotha. 3 months ago, there was a disaster in Henway and freak weather in Tormau. And then Tormau then experienced a terror, which involves like either monsters or some sort of magical, creature or something. So something really awful that external that hits the community. So both of those have had bad years.
Mm.
And that's why, as I keep repeating, that's why the constable has a certain scope of activity that he couldn't otherwise get away with.
At least they're not coming up from Selvos or anything.
Right. Right. This is not fightable terrain, I think.
It's probably mountains, right?
Yeah.
Or hills, perhaps.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but there's a key somewhere.
Mm.
But the point is that over here is where there are keeps on either side of the border whose gentry, loosely speaking, are probably all related.
Mm.
So that border, like all borders, I mean, in this world, that's a modern cartographer drawing that border.
Mm.
They're as the people that are living there see it, tomato, you know. It's like whose taxmen are, you know, more heavily armed. I guess that's what side of the border we're on.
Yep.
Who visit us the most often?
That's
Those
right,
those are
yeah.
probably the ones in
Right.
control.
Right. Or who and executed more
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
last time they were here.
Yeah, the only king that I bow to is the constable, of course.
Right. Most of the people only really care about
Yeah.
their own dude. Yeah.
I'm overseas then and not
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody else is just grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. Sorry, a little sociology there.
It's
We
fun.
all knew already, but that's good to revisit it.
Enjoy it.
That's very fun.
But I would like to know, I don't want to leave you out.
No.
It's just that you've got a ways to travel.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
And every so often your little friend, you know,
Pops,
you can see
in his
peripheral vision or in a tree
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that. And a couple of times it might even make like a sort of,
Cradling noise or something.
well, it's kind of a crooning noise,
Yeah.
but it's not trying to control you.
No.
It's not hypnotizing you, and it's more like it's sort of, it's always behind you.
Mm.
In a way, it's kind of like, where are we going?
Okay.
Weren't we? Isn't it that way?
No.
Food's that way.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah.
The food all ran that way.
It's better food this way. It's spiced.
Hmm.
Herb baked.
Still not sure about that. So anyway, but that's sort of
Fancy person.
that's sort of, so it's not a communication like a human,
No, where it's like.
but it's a very communicative dog or horse
Yep.
would be communicating the same thing.
Mm.
It's coming with you, but it's kind of like you go this way and it's like you know, that's kind of the effect you're getting.
But you're somewhat comfortable with the creature.
Sure, it's an angel of Morgoth.
Yeah, okay.
It walks with me.
Of course.
In my shadow of doubt.
Shadow walk with me.
Okay. So we're good with you.
Yep.
Yes. After the meeting,
You've just been forbidden to do anything interesting.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, so she's actually quite worried about Petra and about David and so on, like her friends, associates, and so forth and so on. But sort of in the keep, sort of pacing around the room. But she would see that there are people gathering at the keep, I guess, because the refugees.
Well, yes, that's true. That is going to start making life difficult. That's true, and it's just when everything seemed like, you know, order was being restored. In fact, sadly, yet again,
And
they're going to run into, of course, those very same patrol guys that have been sent out around town to make sure everybody knows that everything's fine, and a whole bunch of everything is not fine yelling people, or at least like wretched and crying and, you know,
I'm talking about
sleep
sea
deprived
monsters.
and talking about sea monsters
Again.
is like, you know, it swam through the air, right? And it was in the water. All of that is exactly, Now you're not there.
No, she maybe see it from the keep or something.
Or
Or are they outside in the town proper?
They would be coming in this way. So you're way over here, and the you know, given what you just said, nothing stops you from making yourself obnoxious to the guy who's stuck in the watchtower,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh, yeah,
You
sure.
say, I want to look over everything, which is kind of
Yeah, of course.
I'm
I want
hearing
to see
from
where
you.
Petrain is coming. Yeah,
right.
he's coming.
And so, yeah, good point. That makes sense, actually. And so, yeah, I could see that you would, be, I mean, the fellow up there, who, is reasonably entertained by having a young unmarried woman,
Yeah.
spend time. It's like, really? Hi.
You sure?
Hi there. And thinking to himself, maybe like, and she's how important? Oh, she's important. Oh well.
Damn.
But not the nicest culture.
No, of course.
I'm sorry to say. Who knows? I mean, probably a decent enough guy. But this means he's not going to even start anything.
No.
So
He knows better.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Sir Petron seems to be in a mood. So
Yeah, that's probably what's stopping
Yeah.
him, not sort of the decency.
So here, however, you're able to kind of look over, and at that point, he'll say, "What, what in the name of the copper hook is that?" Which is an Greek reference, just a casual swear, really. And he looks over, and there's activity, right? There's people over there. The tower is situated for exactly this purpose, is to see general movement in the community, and so therefore it's reasonable that it would, it's clear. Now I did say that looks like some sort of a religious installation. And we had talked about the inn/friendly house being in this zone, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it was that one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. But over here, could that possibly even be the Agric place? I mean, you would think that might be more associated with the keep. I would think that's more associated with the keep. Maybe that's sort of it's important. I don't know what it is. I have to think about that, but that looks significant.
So Peony doesn't have a big following here.
No, actually, Peonia is not well liked by the official church.
Yes.
But as I conceive it, it's almost impossible for the ordinary people of anywhere
Right.
not to informally or formally,
Yeah.
honor her.
I'm thinking like the early Christian cult or something. like
Yeah.
So
In the sense it exists in the grassroots.
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, in some places it might be actually openly oppressed, but not here. Out and about on the countryside, it's not going to surprise anybody. You're just not going to win any points from the priests of Agric. And I also am a big supporter of the idea that in cultures of this kind, people don't think they're not theologians. They don't think, oh, this is incompatible with that. No, on this day you put it, you do
course,
this.
yeah.
On this day you do that.
I hedge my
Whatever.
bets.
Yeah. And maybe not even worry about it or think about it as hedging bets. It's just the layers of what you do.
I see
So
that's a totally natural.
Yeah. So here, I'm just not, it should just come right to me what that building is. But whatever it is of some significance to, the town. And it is here where people are aggregating and there's probably not visible to you yet, but word of mouth is going to travel a lot faster than people's movements.
Yeah.
So the word of mouth is already, the communication is already traveling quickly along this line.
Income people.
Yeah, well, there's emergency, there's monsters. Monsters again. See?
Yeah, exactly.
You see? Right. We told you.
And of course, Oscar will probably go down from the watchtower. Petron might be among those people. She might want to sort of kind of prepare, sort of still be in the keep, but sort of approach, maybe learn what's this about, sort of.
I see. Okay.
Be on the edge of the keep. Like,
Right.
Courtyard or something, the inner
Yeah.
courtyard. Or
Yeah,
something.
so it would be in this area probably. And so right around in here. So at that point, I think that it's a little bit open to interpretation. Information is going to be very sketchy at this point. And the real problem is whether the patrol right there, recognizing rightly that this is potentially dangerous, might just decide to make an example of one of them, just to settle everybody down and say, don't ruin the vibe, don't mess with the vibe. We have a vibe going on, very fragile. We don't mess, and that's what they were told, right? Keep the vibe going. Well, if it takes just spearing somebody arbitrarily, that's a tried and true way of letting everybody else know that they are not to mess with the vibe. And so, and that's kind of what these guys are like.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm not just talking about the Ivanians. It's actually the fighting. I mean, they've been told to settle down. In fact, it would probably be the Ivanian in that group is like, didn't you say?
But
Didn't you say I wasn't supposed to do that? And they're like, so yeah, I think they probably do. Some poor refugee basically is just going to get a spear right through their chest. The spear is then going to be set point down with the person, kind of hanging on it, and they're swiftly told, get back there against those rocks. All of you, there's more of you coming, get out there by those rocks. Spears, everyone. Right? And so that's going on here. Oh man, poor people.
Oh yeah.
So that's our situation. But from where you are, there's literally no way to tell who might be there.
No, I can't see that well.
And a runner, right? Somebody that the fighting men know has been, told roughly, go to the keep. This is what's happening.
Oh yeah.
Repeat it after me. Repeat. Yes, that. Go tell them that. So that's coming back there. They are very good at what they do. That's true.
It's just not a very nice job. Or well, they are.
Yeah,
They're probably Agrikians.
11 yeah, that too.
Yeah, they probably think this is pretty good.
Yeah. 1100, I mean, to go historically, 1100 British Isles, not my top choice. we may romanticize it a little bit, but I don't. And it doesn't seem, I want to go over there to Constantinople where people take baths and know how to read. That's my choice for that year.
But I think also when we still stay in the keep, sort of keep an eye out, keep an eye out for some sort of news, but not disobey orders.
Right.
And actually,
right.
Just stay
Fair
in the
enough.
keep.
Yeah. That's
doesn't actually do anything much else. I suppose you could do mathematics or something. I don't know.
Crosswords.
Accounting.
Yeah, don't you have work to do?
Probably, but I probably has work in the keep. Some keeping the accounts. Yeah, the family's trade sort of.
Yeah, but you're a mercantile.
Yeah, and I have, as I did last time, of course. Yeah, I could just look over the accounts because
mathematics.
Mathematics.
We live for roles, right? Yeah. Roles are our
so
baby.
I was going to spending her day sort of looking through Daffy's sort of accounting and sort of making sure it's correct and making sure.
Not only that, but there's information in this, right? There's things to learn.
Yeah. So let's check out if it works out. It might not be able.
And also the places where it doesn't work out. What are those?
Yeah, what are discrepancies here?
Discrepancy is a thing.
Right. But of course, she's not great at mathematics. That's a marginal figure.
Okay. Let's just say that you managed to work your way through the tasks of the book and learn literally nothing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you don't make horrible errors, which would ruin the day's work and cause trouble, which is a critical failure. You just aren't going to get much out of it.
your job.
Yeah, and also you might not have done the best job.
No, probably not. Yeah, with 26 in mathematics.
Yeah, you leave a page out of place and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Who did this? Says
Someone else.
Not me.
Oh, who else has access to your books?
More training.
Ah.
More training. And he's like, looks at the rules and he says, 1%, 1%. Oh, it's going to take forever.